What's up, guys? It's Mohammed from Product Feedback with a review of the Razer Imperator 2012. You can pronounce it however you like, but it's Imperator 2012 Razer gaming mouse. This is one of their newer mice that they've brought out onto the market reasonably recently. It's basically can be used for Mac or PC and is designed for gaming. Couple key features is that it's got the new 4G sensor that Razer has developed, so it should give you quite a good set of tracking regardless of the surface that you're using it on. Also, the fact that it does have quite a nice set of features on the actual mouse itself. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. Now, looking at the mouse itself, it's not that big. So a lot of people on my other videos were saying that when you hold a mouse, you got two ways that you can hold it. You can hold it like this, which is a normal grip, and you can claw it. So it just depends how you hold the mouse. I found that if you do it like this or like this, is actually quite a reasonable. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. Both ways are quite nice to use. There's no issues there. And I actually found it more comfortable than my original Razer Mamba. So I reckon the comfortable design of this is much better. It's actually quite light. It's not actually that heavy. I wouldn't have minded it being a little bit more heavier, but it's decent, does the job. But looking at the mouse anyway, on the top you've got the adjustable on-the-fly DPI things. You can actually set the DPI to whatever you want. It goes all the way up to 6400. You've got 5 different stages. I'll show you the software a little bit later. It's got the scroll here. The blue light that comes through the scroll is actually a lot nicer than some of the older Razer models. The light that used to come through wasn't so bright. This is a really nice, bright, intense blue, and I really like that sort of design. And as you can see, pulsating is the actual Razer logo. It's up to you whether you want to have that on and off. I usually tend to have it off, but there you go. Along the side here, and I'll just show you how Razer's actually designed this to make it a little bit more comfortable for people. What they've done is that you can actually, on the bottom of the mouse here, slide the like your thumb 2 buttons depending on where you place your thumb. So if you want to have it all the way back, you can have it all the way back. If you want to have it all the way forward, you can actually have it all the way forward, which is really nice because some people sit like this, some people sit like this, and you can adjust it accordingly. So it's a great ergonomic setup. Another difference is that the mouse itself has got this like a darker grey finish. If you look at the older Mamba there, you can see it's got a black finish. It's a preference to which way you want to go, but I don't mind this newer grey finish. It looks quite nice, looks elegant, looks a little bit more expensive. Underneath the mouse is pretty straightforward. You've got obviously just the sensor there, nothing else to it, and a couple rubber feet underneath. The cable itself is braided, so it doesn't tangle that easily, and it tends to last longer because of a braided cable. In terms of performance, I use the mouse for general use, so this is talking about like Photoshop, surfing the net, anything you do on the computer. It did it reasonably well. I use a DPI of 1600, sometimes 1800. I don't see a reason or why would you use 6400, but it comes down to purely preference, and that's why Razer is good, because they allow you to adjust that however you want. The mouse itself for games, I used it on obviously StarCraft 2 and it worked great. I had full control. There wasn't any lag, any noticeable problems with using the mouse, so I can happily recommend it. You can use it on Mac as well if people are getting into playing games on Mac, which is a pretty interesting topic in itself, but we'll leave that to another video. So we're going to be checking out the Razer Imperator 2012's software, and in this case we're looking at the driver version 2.0, firmware version 1.0. The layout is pretty nice, pretty straightforward. Obviously on the mouse you can adjust all the different buttons to do different things. So if you want your left click to double click, you can just do that and adjust it accordingly, and it goes for all the other options as well. So you basically can adjust the 2 on the left, the up and down on the top, the scroll wheel, and the left and right button, which is the standard sort of setup for most of Razer's products. We can tweak performance here. So in this case here, the current DPI, which is what basically the sensitivity is of the mouse, I'm using on 1800, but You can see here you can adjust it to different stages depending on how high you want to use the mouse. Personally, like I said, 1800 is pretty good, and you can adjust it however you want. You can also enable acceleration. I usually leave that on, leave it about 9. Polling rate, just at the transfer rate between the mouse and the computer, I'll just leave it at 1000 Hertz. Surface calibration. This is a feature that's new on this mouse, which is to do with the 4G sensor. Basically, if you lift the mouse off the or whatever you're tracking it on, it actually will stop sensing or will continue sensing, and you can adjust how high the mouse can be lifted off the table. So, for example, if you're a gamer that uses the whole mouse pad and quickly lifts the mouse off, brings it back, and so forth, then this is a pretty good thing to have. Profiles, you can adjust different presets depending on what you want to do. Pretty straightforward here. Macros, you can also do macros depending on what buttons and stuff you want to allocate the macro to. I don't use this too much, it's more depending on the game that you play with. And you got the lighting option, which to turn off the scroll wheel and to turn off the logo from pulsating blue, or the scroll wheel from just being blue. I like the logo off usually. So that's my tour of the Razer Imperator software. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll answer it from there. Yeah, well, it's the Imperator 2012, and like I said, I reckon it's a pretty decent mouse. It worked very well for all the applications that I used it for. The tracking was great. The build quality is okay, but I would have liked it just to be a little bit heavier. Size-wise, it's nice. It's gonna work for a lot of people, and I'd pretty much give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. That product feedback, and pretty happy to give it actually a silver award as well. So I would definitely recommend this for a decent gaming mouse for your computer. Now, if you guys like that review, please follow me on Twitter and ask me questions through Twitter. I'm happy to answer you guys through there. If you have any other videos you want to check out from me, head over to my channel and subscribe on there. I've got heaps of other Razer products and gaming peripheral reviews as well. So without further ado, that's Mohammed from Product Feedback, and I'll catch you guys in another video soon. To be updated on the latest product feedback videos, make sure that you have subscribed.